Hello everyone! First of all, I want to thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to my project, the Odyssey in ASL. Like, wow, it really, thank you. Your support is really heart-touching. Today I'm filming this video to respond to people who have reached out to me through Facebook, Twitter, and email, contacting me like, hey, can I ask you something? And I'm like, yeah, sure, ask me. Now I want to respond to those questions and comments, and I'm sharing them here so everyone, including you, has access. And I also want to clarify a few things about my project. So I'm going to discuss my background and my project goals. First, my background. I was born deaf, yes. Did I grow up using ASL? Nope. I first started learning ASL about 3 years ago. It happened that I was born deaf, but I was enrolled and placed in mainstream school, which means I attended school with only hearing people. That means I did not have full language access, so I had to speech read, and I really struggled a lot. Even though my parents and teachers knew I was deaf, no one taught me the sign. So, my oral background means that my ASL is not perfect. As you might have noticed during the video, my signs have so many mistakes. Like, ugh. But anyway, sometimes when I'm reading English, I really struggle to interpret the story, the sentence meanings, the vocabulary, complicated vocabulary, and even sentence grammar. I get confused. But then I have to take that English interpretation and then interpret that into ASL. So I really have to think about it and envision it, imagine it in my head, make hard decisions, really, for how to sign the story, how to show the viewer the story. Like, yeah. I know you're probably wondering, if you're not fluent, then why did you undertake this project? Look, I get it. I agree. But, you know, you have to understand that the first attempt is, in anything, is always the worst, never perfect. It doesn't matter what you're doing, the first attempt will always be the worst attempt. Okay? So as Anthony Doerr said, things hardly ever work on the first try. We'll make another one, a better one. So in other words, the first attempt sucks, and the next one is better, and so on as it improves. And that's why I decided to go ahead with the project, even though I'm not perfect. And I'll explain a little more on that later. Moving on to my project's goals, of which I have 4. The first project goal. My project is supposed to demonstrate and prove that ASL can interpret advanced literature. The Odyssey as a story is very advanced. Like, many hearing readers don't understand it. So, if they can't understand it, how do you expect deaf students and English second language students to understand it? Like, how? Also, you know how French-speaking and Spanish-speaking students can find resources for their languages. For example, online and in bookstores both have translations for both French and Spanish. And often online you can find free translations and get access to those. Resources for ASL signers? None. There are none. Nothing. So I decided, it doesn't matter that I'm not perfect, because someone has to get this conversation started. My second goal for my project. My project should raise awareness about how we need advanced literature in signed languages. Not just in ASL, but BSL, LSM, all the sign languages. Each sign language is unique and important. And, if we can translate our stories into hundreds of diverse spoken or written languages, we can start to include signed languages. And understand this, sign languages are not equivalent to spoken languages. For example, ASL is not just quote-unquote English on the hands, just as LSM is not quote-unquote Spanish on the hands. Sign languages have their own grammars, just like spoken languages. This means we need qualified, skilled signers in each of these languages, just as we need qualified, skilled translators for other languages, such as, Spanish and French, whatever. My third goal. I want my project to encourage interest in accepting interpreting projects for literature. So, if you watch my project and think, wow, I want to do that, make a BSL interpretation, please do it. Yes. We need more. More. Gimme. Okay. Fourth goal. My project also should demonstrate that the finished video can be made fully accessible. And this includes things like captions, sign, image descriptions, voiceovers, all of that. So, human diversity means that we have a wide range or a spectrum of human bodies and how people navigate the world. So we have deaf people, deaf non-signers, deaf blind people, so much diversity. Everyone should have access to enjoy stories. Everyone should have access to education. That directly entails that everyone should have access to language, whether spoken, written, or signed. They're all important. With the technology we have now, the available tech, which is often free, we can make fully accessible videos that everyone can enjoy. It's time for people to recognize that and to take the time to use that technology. Okay, so I think I've clarified enough. And now, last of all, I want to share with you my favorite quote from the author Frances Hodgson Burnett. And the quote goes, "At first, people refuse to believe that a strange new thing can be done. Then, they begin to hope that it can be done." Then, they see that it can be done. Then it is done, and all the world wonders why it was not done centuries ago. And that's my favorite quote. I hope you can learn something from it too. Again, thank you everyone for your support. Hopefully this video clarified a few things for you. Bye!